Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Appraisal Buzzcast. I'm Jim Morrison. Today, we have Joan Trice, founder and CEO of Allterra Group, and Eric Tsai, co-founder and CEO of Asteroom. We'll be discussing how technology is changing things in the near future for appraisers. Joan, I'll hand it over to you and let you get started.
Thank you very much, Jim, and good afternoon, Eric. It's really nice to meet you virtually, and I understand we're going to be able to meet in the flesh at upcoming Valuation Expo in just a few weeks. And I understand that you have a really cool piece of technology. Tell us a little bit about it, but more importantly, how did you even get interested in the appraisal space and what we're doing?
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me, Joan and Jim. Let's see. Well, the elephant in the room is that, this guy does not look like he's from the appraisal industry, right? So that's me.
What are you implying? Because you're young?
I'm young. Yeah, I'm young. Yeah, very young. And I came from tech industry. Previously, I worked at Facebook.
Okay.
Always being in the Silicon Valley. It was 2017, right? I decided that, I want to do an inexpensive 3D tour solution for real estate agents. So the original product was meant for agents to create 3D tours for their listings. So at that time, there weren't that many solutions on the market for 3D tours. Most of the solutions were created for real estate photographers, and which means that the agents will usually have to pay a couple $100s just to get the photographer to do the 3D tours for them. So I thought that if I can create a tour, if I can create a tool that's incredibly easy to use and something that you can be done in with just the smartphones, I thought that can help agents create 3D tours for their listings and drive adoption of 3D tours in the US. So that's the original leap of faith, and the timing was actually pretty good too. Just right after we roll out the product, COVID hit. Right, so we got a ton of adoptions. So as of today, we have about 20,000 realtors that are using our solutions and to create 3D tours for the listings and put it on Zillow, Realtor.com, and to just to help their sellers sell their listing for higher and faster. How I got into the appraisal industry is really funny. I think there's a saying in the startup world that if you make a product and you throw it on the internet, and you just keep waiting, eventually your customer will come to you with their pain. So that's sort of what happened here. There were some appraisers and people from appraisal management companies that just came to me, how can we use your technology? So that was sort of it.
Interesting. Yeah. So they had the need, they did some research and they found you on the web.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Very, very interesting. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break and we will be right back.
Whether you're looking for an authoritative textbook or detailed information on current valuation issues and specific property types, you'll find what you need at the Appraisal Institute store. To choose from more than 70 digital and print publications, shop appraisalinstitute.org/store.
Welcome back, everybody. So, Eric, compare and contrast, if you will, your product to some of the other competing offerings that are out there. And I'm going to caution you not to mention competitors' names, just talk in generalities, if you will.
Sure. Yeah. So
and cost, more importantly. Oh, you're going to share a screen. Great.
Yeah, sure. I can share a tour. So this is when you first enter the tour, this is the first screen you see is the 3D dollhouse of the home, right? So it looks exactly just like Matterport dollhouse. And then you can go in and just say, I want to take a look of the living room, right? And you can click into it and you can see the living room. And then there's also the floor plans with dimensions on there. For floor plans that we give it to appraisers, they will have GLAs, color coding the area that are counted, and then the areas that are not counted within the GLA.
So, Eric, is this measuring as per ANSI standards?
Yes, we are still training the staff to measuring and do the GLA based on the ANSI standard, but they are still one or two things that we're trying to work through just to make it 100% compliant. But yeah, we're trying to mirror as much as possible.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
And just say it's an issue with change management.
Yes.
Yeah. You just have to get them to slowly adopt. Yeah. So everything here is this tour is created using a phone. So it was done, and it's also done by a realtor, right? So for appraisals context, for the upcoming PDR or any sort of appraisal that requires data collection, right? And we will send the ANC, they will use us and use our agent panel who will go out and to make a tour like this with a floor plan and has a GOA calculations. And also the other questions that cannot be answered using the tour.
So is this done by LiDAR? And if the answer is yes, can you explain to our audience what LiDAR is?
It's not done by LiDAR.
It is not LiDAR.
No.
Okay. Well, since I've posed that question, now you have to still share though, what is LiDAR? And
right, I'm happy to. And I'm also happy to share why we aren't using LiDAR.
okay.
Right. So basically, LiDAR is a new piece of hardware that is able to detect depths, right, of interior space. So let me just close my share. And the advantage of LiDAR, as you can see, the recent news that Apple is doing a room type of visualization tool. I think it's called Apple Room Sketch or something.
Okay.
So the fidelity of that scan would be very high. It's detecting any sort of thing in your room, like any furniture, any bookshelf, any doorknob, right? It's gonna show, right? So the disadvantage of using that kind of fidelity scan is very consuming a lot of power, right? So the reason that we don't use LiDAR is so far there has not been any solution that you can use to scan the entire home quick and accurate. Right. So the Apple Room scan, you can only scan one room and there are a ton of restrictions, right? You cannot, like windows, LiDAR will just beam through the window, right? If the surface is too dark, then LiDAR will not reflect. Right?
Bounce off of those surfaces.
Correct. So that's why we don't use LiDAR, because we want to make it quick and easy to use. At the end of the day, appraisers or agent, they don't really care about dimensions of your fireplace. Right, that's for interior designer, and that's what Apple wants their application to be used for, like interior design remodeling. And all we care is just what is the wall, like how big is the room, where the wall is.
So LiDAR is just going to use a whole lot more memory.
That's right. Computing power, everything, battery, everything can think of. Yeah.
So it might be a product in the future to use LiDAR, but given those kind of constraints today, it's for self-driving cars and those types of things that have bigger computing power.
Well, you'd be surprised. Even Tesla sensor is 2D. It's not 3D.
I know, but I also hear that their lack of LiDAR is one of the reasons that they can't and may not ever get to a self-driving car.
Right.
Again, way out of my league.
Yeah.
I follow this. I love the tech, so I'm a little nerdy.
So also adoption is an issue too, right? If you there are only 20% or less of phone that actually have a LiDAR.
Yeah.
Right. That's only on the Pro Max or Pro, right? So and I don't see the basic tier will ever have LiDAR. It's just it's an expensive piece of technology hardware to put on. Yeah,
I dare not guess what the percentage of appraisers are that might be using a flip phone. It's possible there's a few out there that don't have a smartphone at all. That's a story for another day. Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
In uncertain times, you need a certain partner. You don't have to sacrifice top-notch coverage for an affordable premium. Intercorp has it all, and is sure to have just the right one to fit your specific needs. They provide the appraisal profession with competitive, best-in-class E&O coverage solutions nationwide. Having served the insurance needs of the industry for more than 25 years, Intercorp understands the risks you face every day. Whether you're an individual appraiser, appraisal firm, residential, commercial, or an AMC, visit intercorpinc.net to get a competitive quote today.
Welcome back, everybody. So, Eric, just to kind of wrap up, the technology is impressive. It's still a little unclear to me how you made the leap. You had 20,000 real estate agents. You were making pretty darn good progress. You leaped over to the appraisal space by invitation, I gather, from some folks. What did you what did you see that attracted you to our space?
So the original product was for agent to do it themselves. And as we continue working with agents and brokerages, we realized that a good portion of the agents actually prefer to outsource the 3D tour task to photographers. So we first recruited a photographer on our platform and launched a product called Asteroom Capture Service. So basically that means a company like a brokerage, right? Like a Berkshire Hathaway, they can go to our website and just order a photographer to get to their agent's listings to do photos and 3D tours. We discovered that that was when the appraisal companies, management company that approached us, they also have a needs of having the scanners or data collectors, right? Because most of the appraisal management company don't manage their agent panel. Right. So I thought, oh, this is perfect because I do have a panel. So I decided to just reach out to the panel, the 20,000 panel, and recruited them. And I know we do record their IP for where they last used the product. So whenever there's a assignment that comes in, they get automatically assigned to the agents around there. So that's sort of our offering for the industry. It's 3D tour technology plus a data collection app used by the agent panel that we recruited. So as of today, there are about like 5,000 agents. They're just everywhere in the US. We cover all 50 states. We have been doing desktop appraisals for almost 6 months now. That has a couple, like, well, out of 1,000 that we did, we probably have like 10 that we couldn't reach, right? So we have 95% coverage of the entire US. We're excited to continue to leverage this panel and workforce to provide a PDR solution, comprehensive, accurate, and also very convenient for appraisers when you get escalated to a hybrid, right? Like every single PDR report has a hyperlink. You can click into a 3D tour and you can browse around get a comprehensive understanding of the property, just like we just did on demo. Yeah, so that's our offering.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Well, listen, we really appreciate you joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you at Valuation Expo.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Joan. That was very interesting. And those of you that are just listening to today's podcast are going to want to check out our YouTube and actually see what it looks like for yourself. Thanks for our listeners and our sponsors for helping us put this on. If you have any comments or would like to be included in a future Buzzcast, reach out to us at info@appraisalbuzz.com. Thanks and have a great day.